it is our last session on TIP Annual Conference 2021. You know how we started to stream day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. Tomorrow is day 8. We are on day 7, last session. One of the times when my team members saw 30 coaches, they were like, Coach, how are we going to do this? Hey, we've done it. We've done it. Fear is not, never that you're not, that nobody is, everybody actually has fear. The only difference is that some of us just take the bull by the horn, and then we'll walk it. Here we are today, the last session, day 7, TIP Annual Conference. This is the biggest conference on parenting that you can ever know. We call it the Parenting Shiloh. We are here live and direct. I'm going to be your host. I'm going to be your host for the very last session. This last session is dear to my heart. You know how many people do not just talk about sexual purity? You know how when you were growing up, they told you that the people that you that was keeping yourself became cowed. Meanwhile, the people that were having sex were the big babes and and all of that. You know how society have turned the wrong to become the norm. That's why I just love this session. That's number one. The number 2 reason why I love this session is that I'm having my sister speak right live here. And hey, it's not just in the she's just coming to speak and all of that. There's no other person that can speak of sexual purity better than Etima Umeh. Quote me anywhere. In fact, when I see people talking about sexual purity, I call and say, who is that person? As in, it's like, you own this space. Nobody should be there. So you're going to be meeting our guest in no time. And did I tell you, she's also a member of the inner circle. Yep. In fact, she's the number 1 person. She says that she's matriculation number 001 in the academy. And that's it. She's the first person that bought into the vision of the inner circle program. Tell me, talk about friendship. Yes, this is what you've got. Thank you so much for being here. Share this link. My name is Wendy Ologe, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parents Academy. I like to say that I'm your chief servant. You know, that person who sweeps for you in the academy. That's who I am. Thank you so much for joining me. As we begin to get ready, get your water, because this session is going to come with fire. You think you've seen fire on TIP sessions? Don't worry, as we're increasing, the fire is coming to you. And that is what Auntie Etima is bringing. But while you're getting your pen, your book, share this link, invite a family, invite a friend, invite parents, invite single people. You heard Abibo. Abibo has been doing parenting courses even as a single man. And hey, here he is. He's also a parenting coach. He's also a teens coach. Yet he's developing himself daily. What are you doing? Let me see your fire in the comment section as we begin to take this inner circle review by Auntie Etima.
Hello, my name is Auntie Etima Umeh. I'm the responsible teens coach, purity lifestyle ambassador, and an author. I was the first person to join the inner circle, aka the Yadas. It's been an amazing almost 2 years being in that group, in that circle. For me, what the Intentional Parents Inner Circle has done for me is it has helped me become a balanced parent. 2 things, structure and nurture. It has helped me to better connect, love, and communicate with my children, as well as build a structure and a system where my parenting strategy is sustainable. In the inner circle, you get a great support. You have people that have gone ahead of you, people that are with you, and people that are coming behind you on this journey. So you're learning and you're teaching and you're sharing. Of course, you're becoming better at it every day. The inner circle has also, provided a platform for my husband to join in parenting in an amazing, non-stressful manner. Oh my goodness, I can't begin to share with you how we suddenly love to read books on parenting because we do it in a lovely, encouraging way. The inner circle has been that go-to place for everything I need, everything we all need to move from just speaking, wishing, hoping, and praying that our children turn out right to actually begin to put these things to practice. And then we are already seeing the testimonies. Our children are actually turning out right, not without mistakes, but we can see them actually shift. I want to thank God for Coach Wendy, my friend and coach, and I want to celebrate every yada in all the levels. I celebrate you, and I'm looking forward to having you join us in 2022. See you in the yard.
See you in the yard. And you are going to be listening to Etima loves to be called Auntie Etima. I love the way she loves it. She's the foremost teens coach, right? Yes. And Auntie Etima's profile is going to be coming up now shortly. And you're going to be seeing who our guest is and who our facilitator is and what it is that she does. But if you don't remember anything, just know that I'm also going to brag about her being my friend in this session. So, hey, let's go there.
Etima Umeh is a responsible teens coach with a vision to see a world where young people live purposefully and contribute to stable and thriving societies. She does this through mentoring, coaching, and training them on life, leadership, and entrepreneurial skills. For over a decade, she has taught youth in a unique, practical, and humorous way to learn personal responsibility, self-leadership, volunteering, and accountability, thereby preparing them for life. Many of them have become peer mentors, youth leaders, and entrepreneurs. As family life coach, she teaches parents to eliminate conflict and power struggles with their teens and bring healthy communication back into the home. She currently runs a group on Facebook for teen and preteen parents. She also speaks and trains parents and educators around the country. She is the founder of the NGO Inspire for Greatness Network, the organization that hosts the Teens Mentoring Bootcamp, a gathering of youth seeking to find purpose and gain spiritual maturity. This program is rated as one of the best in Nigeria, with participants drawn from outside Abuja. She is the lead mentor at the Responsible Teens Online Academy, where a robust curriculum is applied. Participants sign up for personal and group coaching from Nigeria, Canada, America, and the Middle East. Other offline events for teens are the annual Valentine Party, Teens Mentoring Outreach, Hiking and Talent Hunt Show. Peer Mentoring Summit is highly impactful and well attended. She is a purity ambassador, advocating that sexual purity is possible. Her latest book, Maintaining Your White, is fast becoming a bestseller. She has other books and audio resources to her credit. She has been trained on entrepreneurship by the British Council, University Bocconi, Italy, and the Abuja Enterprise Agency. She is currently going through a life coaching certification with the American Life Coaching Program. Auntie Etima, as she is fondly called, is also an entrepreneur. She is happily married to Pastor Matthew Umeh, and they are blessed with 3 children. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome to the 2021 Intentional Parent Conference, Etima Umeh.
Yay! Welcome, Purity Mama. We are glad to have you again and again at the TIP Annual Conference 2021. I want to say this publicly. We do not take the grace of God in your life for granted, ma. We do appreciate what you do for the Intentional Parents Academy. Even though you are my sister, I want to say again and again, I honor you. I appreciate you. Thank you for doing this. The floor is yours. I'm going to leave the floor for you to actually get it. Thank you so much and take it away.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. My friend, my sister, and my coach. I like to add that part because that's a very important part in my life as a parent. You know, many times with the work we do as teen coaches, we forget that we also have children. And we need help also. So Wendy has been that go-to person for myself, my husband, my family, and my children. She mentors as well one of my daughters. So yes, I'm a teen mentor, but my children all have their mentors. So thank you everyone. I know you're watching from all around the world, and I don't take it for granted that you're here. This is my third appearance at the Intentional Parents Academy, and I'm very, very grateful. I do not take this opportunity for granted, and I do not think that it's my right or I need to be here. I just think that it's a privilege that God has granted to me, and I'm grateful for it. I thank you, Wendy. I thank you, the team. Your team has been amazing. All right, so today we're going to be talking about raising sexually pure teenagers in a perverse world. I want to, before I go ahead, say thank you to all the amazing coaches. I don't know if some of you are still here, but I've followed more than 50% of the sessions back to back. Has been amazing. Shout out to the ones that came before me today, Uncle Chidioze, Uncle Abipo, and Auntie Ngozi. Thank you so much. You guys have done amazing. All the other coaches have just been awesome. Many of them have said the things that I'm going to be saying today. So this is just, you know, when we say that the spirit is one. Yes, this is me just coming to say that what they said was true, and then adding my own bits. So let's go straight to what we have for today. We're talking about our children being in a perverse world, and I'm asking, what do you think? Do you think that this is true? Do you think that this is over exaggerated? Do you think like what is all the hoot about all these things that all these people are just saying? Okay, in our days, it seemed like, you know, it was bad, it was rotten, it was spoiled. We had our older ones say to us that, I don't understand, this your generation, wonders will never end. Little did they know that what we went through was more like a rehearsal compared to what is happening in the world today. Was it just yesterday I saw a video, it was like a comedy skit where somebody was asking, you know, this where they go to do interviews, and was saying that, will you want to have sex in front of your parents for 20 million? And people were saying, 20 million? 20 million is too much. I'll do it for 5 million. I'll do it for 1 million. In fact, I'll do it for 100K. You know, people were laughing. It was funny, but of course, I was not finding it funny. Somebody even said, I will not just do it in front of, excuse me, my parents. I'll do it in front of all my relatives. That's how bad it has become. Another person, another thing that I saw that was very perverseful for me was when Nigeria celebrity Naira Marley put up on his social media handle and said that he fantasizes, he's dreaming and thinking and just wishing and imagining the day he's going to be having sex on the same bed with a mother and her daughter. And do you know that report had it that before he finished practically putting up that post, his DM was full with people, you know, offering themselves. I'm available, myself and my mom. I'm available, myself and my daughter. And I'm wondering what is going on. My in-laws, the Igbos, who say, Aru, abomination, things that could not even be heard in the secret are now being told in the open, and people are celebrating it. Now, whether it's Western or African, the entire world is currently facing a sexual crisis. We are in battle, and our children are the targets. Do you remember few weeks ago, we saw the gay community do an anthem and inform us that they were coming after our children. We are in a sexual crisis. I want us to wake up. Now, okay, let me define what sexual perversion is. I mean, very simply, sexual perversion it simply means a situation where things are being done abnormally. So, for example, sex is supposed to happen on the marriage bed, but no, sex is now happening in the boss office, a sugar daddy's hotel room, a baby mama's apartment, behind a biology lab, on a classroom desk, and worse still, on the phone. People are having sex on their phones, sexting, and all sorts of very irritating, and like our children will say, gross, very grossy kind of things. Those things are what we call perversion. It is when one decides to also have sex with the same gender, with an animal, or with themselves. That is also, you were not made to have sex with yourself. You were made to have sex with your spouse, a man or a woman, depending on which gender you are. So sexual perversion is irritating, just as purity is beautiful. It is time for us to stop admiring sexual perversion in the name of modernization and trends. People just come and they admire some things. And I'm wondering, okay, so last week, Thursday, I was out in town doing something and I saw a car with a very big sticker, baby mama. And I'm like, seriously? Somebody's bragging about this? And we're just quiet. When they had said it in her introduction, that it looks as if, and just like Solomon said, that the princes are walking on foot while the beggars are on horses. These people are out there, bold, confident. How many people have released a song on sexual purity? But the LGBTQ group they have spent money. Look, it takes a lot. I'm preparing for the Teens Mentoring Bootcamp, and I know how much I'm spending on media, on video. These people did that kind of video, and they're spreading it around. And we're just sitting down saying, the world has changed. Children of these days, you just try the one that you can try and just leave the rest. We're not serious. Now, if we sleep, complain, and do nothing, act confused, or remain ignorant in battle, our children will be destroyed right before our eyes. Our job as parents is not just to be defensive, to be defending. Oh, see what is happening. Let it not come near my child. No, we are supposed to go a step further by raising our children to also be on the offensive, so that before the immorality and sexual perversion comes, our children are already aware and they are heading towards the enemy to say, you don't dare, you don't come into my zone, you don't come near me. The Bible says that our children are like arrows. An arrow does not sit and wait for attack. An arrow is always on the move, looking for who to attack. So let's stop sitting down and waiting for these people to come and attack, and then we now defend. Well, we can as well, send our children out there. If you see your children as arrows, you will prepare them properly, because if an arrow is not well set, it will misfire. Now, a time will come when we'll need to shoot our arrows. Will they hit their targets? Some of our children are going to go across the world to school. Just yesterday, a mentee of mine who relocated to the UK, her mom was saying that, Auntie Etima, it's terrible here. Everywhere we go, it's LGBTQ. And we have had this talk with my daughter, and she's indifferent. I had a problem with that statement. If your child is indifferent about these things, then there's a tendency that he or she can sway this way or that way. Our children need to take a stand. I mean, there's a way we do these things that they know that it's not an option. You don't have an option to live your life. So why do you have an option to think about whether morality or purity is good or bad? I'll think about it. I'll consider it. It now looks like we're in a debate. Who has better points is now the point where is now the place where our children stand. I don't think that is right. Please, in case you're here and you're wealthy, I want you to know that this is not about money. This is not about status. Those things are going to be useless in battle. when our children are going to battle in this perverse world. Your money, your title, your investments, your assets, all those things will not help you, because what your children need is not in your bank account. So kindly keep it. Keep your accounts, keep your title, and let's get to work. We have a battle in our hands. We must do something about it. You can be wealthier, or rather, you can't be wealthier than the wealthiest people on this earth. You're not the wealthiest person. And the wealthiest person on this earth, as it were, is the God of this world, who is Satan. And he's the one that is powering these things, this agenda. I have a cousin who is doing some internet, some app development, website development, app development for the LGBTQ community, where they can have their drugs, where they can have their treatments without being stigmatized in the hospital. She told me how much it costs to build that app. I was sad. I skipped dinner that day because she was telling me when she got back from work, I skipped dinner. Do we have an app for purity? Do we have anything that our children can constantly be reminded of how they should stay pure, what they should do to stay? Do we have all those tools? No. We're just sitting down, we're just complaining, whining. This world, they are spoiled. There's nothing that we will not see, and we're not doing much. But I want to thank God for a remnant, which are the intentional parents that are arising to say, no, our own children are going to be different. They're going to stand for purity. Now, I want you to understand something about perversion in the world. You can create your child's world. I pray that God gives me the grace to explain this thing the way God showed it to me. When we talk about the world is relative. What is the world? Where is the world? The world is what we create for our children. The world is what we create for our children. How your child sees the world is what we put inside of it. So everyone's world is different. Just like people are crying out, to say, we don't have money, we're poor, we're suffering. Some people don't understand lack. Some people don't understand that things are difficult. They don't understand those things. Do you know that in some parts of Nigeria, some children go to school and sit on the floor? My children can't understand that. It's not in their world. In their school, they have AC. When it's hot, they switch on the AC. Everything is working. But still, in this same nation, some other children do not understand what it means to go to school with shoes. Are these people in the same world? No. No, they are not in the same world. So everyone's world is different. Some people's world are actually perverse. Mine isn't. I don't know about you, but my world is not perverse. In April or sometime at the early part of the year, I had the privilege. I was invited for a friend's birthday party. And when we got there, of course, now, birthday party was the 40th birthday party. It was like a landmark birthday. And everybody, people were, drinking, people were, letting out their guards, secular music, stuff like that. And then my friend, one of my classmates' husband, I sat quietly. I was enjoying the fact that I was celebrating with my friend, but I was not interested in the shaky bum bum. I was not interested in the wine that was everywhere. I was not interested in all the other things that were going on, and I was okay. But one of my friend's husband felt I was not okay. He kept saying, "Tetima, relax, enjoy yourself. You're overdoing this thing." And I'm like, seriously, I am very okay. In my world, this is not fun. And I'm not joking. I know what is fun for me. I have also, taught my children, because after that event, I actually went to speak to my children and I shared with them that, look, your world, you can create the definition of fun for yourself. Stop allowing the world determine what happens in your own world. I don't know if we are getting it. We don't have to just sit and just say, this world is, what is the world that you are creating for your child? I had a session with a group of teenagers, and I'm going to share the experience we had. I'm going to share with you that if your child is exposed to perversion, if he has experiences with sexual perversion, his world is perverse. But if your child is safe from all that and knows how to live in that world regardless, he's okay. He's going to be okay, and he's going to live a life of purity. So now let me take us through these stages of sexual purity. I'm going to use the concept of a building. So I'll share with us laying the foundation for purity, building and fortifying the building for purity, and then putting finishing touches. Now, the first one is laying the foundation. The Bible says that if the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? Nothing. That question did not have an answer. The righteous cannot do anything because the foundation has been destroyed. Laying the foundation for sexual purity is your job, not God's job. God will not come down and come and lay the foundation for sexual purity for you in your home. Now, if a friend of mine shared this story with me just last night, she called me and said to me, my cousin is in town for NYC and she wants to come over. I think she wants to come over to my house. And I'm like, okay. She says, no, it's not okay. She can't come to my house. And she started becoming hysterical. She said, do you know what she's coming with? Do you know how she's going to come and expose my children to? She's somebody that's, in her 20s. My children are less than 10. She's going to come. I don't know what is on her phone. She'll just leave her phone. I don't know what she'll come and be watching. I don't want her there. It's a problem for me. And then I remembered everything that she was saying was what I put down in my book, Sex Prove Your Home. I don't know if I can share with us what I put down in that book, because that was like my life story. I grew up exposed. Have you ever seen when a child is exposed to sex? I saw it in all forms, ignorantly. Please, it was a very ignorant, unintentional environment that I grew up in. Now, if you want to lay the foundation for sexual purity in your home, you must begin by sex-proving your home. This is the beginning of your child's sexual purity journey. So what do you need to sex-prove your home? Let me just run through them. Number one, you need to watch out for. So let me explain. Sex-proving is the act of securing your home and your child from external influences as related to sexual issues. When I say sexual experiences, I'm talking about extended family members. I had them. I never remember myself alone in my house with just my siblings, and we're just 4. Never. We always had senior cousins, girls, boys. Most of them had relationships, dating. I watched my cousins have sex in the boys' quarters as a child. I would go and be peeping and looking. So while you're there saying, using all manner of sentiments, it's my husband's brother, it's my sister, they have been together since we were children. I hope you know what you are doing. I hope you know that you are probably putting your children at risk, especially if you're not intentional about setting rules and regulations, setting clear boundaries for these external family members. I'm not here to cause any trouble for any family, but what I'm saying is that this is the number one cause for perversion. I can't even start describing what I saw as a child in my house. I've never been to a nightclub. I've never been to a party where they are doing this kind, like a rough party. I've never. But what my eyes have seen under the roof where I grew up in, I don't wish it for anybody. So please check it. Your external family members. Number 2, TVs and movies. The first time I was going to be sexually molested was when I was like 3 years or 4 years. One of these senior cousins was busy watching a movie. Everybody went to bed. I was alone. And that was how he came and started to touch me inappropriately. I can't even remember how that incident ended. But thankfully, I was not molested. But that would have been the day. They come with all sorts of, those my cousins, they will come with all sorts of movies. Do you think that if an extended family member is in your house and is playing movie, are you always at home? How do you know what they are watching? They'll tell your children, go, like this to tell us, me and my sisters, go into the room, all the small children will come and hide behind the chair. We'll hide behind the chair. So we watch all the movies. Meanwhile, my mom regulated us, okay? My mom bought movies that we were supposed to watch. But when she goes to work, dad goes to work, this senior one starts watching these rubbish movies. We hide behind the chair and we watch it. So movies are a way, if you want to sex-proof your home, check for movies, TV. Check your neighbors. If you know what happened to me and neighbors, we had these neighbors that had children our age. They will come, they were spoiled. Their parents were separated. Their dad was a womanizer, so he would bring babes to the house. These children were watching, they came to us, influenced us. They were the ones that came and taught us husband and wife game. They would remove their pants, tell us to remove our own. Let us, we're fathers and we're daddy and mommy. I'm not saying in the bush, I'm saying in the room, in the house. When I say sex-proof your home, check for your neighbors. I see some families, the children, in the neighborhood, pew, they're in one neighbor's house, pew, another neighbor's house. Do you know that sometimes in a split second, your children have been exposed? That is perversion now. A child is fingered, is touched, all in the home. Either your children went to the neighbor's house, or neighbors came to your house. It's the same thing. Teenagers have been caught having sex, neighbor, in the house, the parents were in the parlor, they were in the room. So if you need to sex-proof your home, check for neighbors, check for magazines and books. Oh my goodness. I saw enough. Ikebe Super, Pakata Kapakate. We watched it. When the cousins finish, we will go and we'll be, who is going to stop us? Nobody's there now. Nobody's there. You see this thing that we say we don't have time. If you don't parent your children, if you don't sexually parent your children well, magazines, TV, and all the other platforms will do it for you. That is when you now say the world is perverse. You gave the world, the perverse world, access. You gave the world access to parent your children, to perverse your children's world. You gave them the access. What else? Domestic staff. Drivers. Cook. House help. Nanny. I'm busy. I'm a banker. Okay. When they finish with your children, don't come and say the world is perverse. You perverted the world right in your home. Let us begin to put these things in place, please. I'm not saying that you don't need domestic staff, but you need to realize that the domestic staff are as dangerous as the predator out there. The domestic staff are as dangerous as the rapists. The domestic staff are as dangerous as Naira Marley. Sorry to say, they are as dangerous as these evil, immoral people. Yeah, it's the same thing. So that you don't let down your guard. Then another thing to check to sex-proof your home: cousins, siblings, they're beginning to have sex with each other. They're beginning to play dangerous play. A mother had her nephews and nieces come over, and she said she was just checking, put them to bed, and she was just checking, the CCTV before she goes to bed, and behold, all her children were pants down. Cousins, let's be careful. Let's watch out for these things. Don't just leave them. A child left alone will bring shame. The one that is guarded will bring joy. Don't forget that part. If you guard it, if the fear of having shame will not help you, then the joy of having peace should be able to motivate you. Please check it. Cousins, siblings. Your children are big. I heard somebody say that my daughter is beginning to be uncomfortable about her brother seeing her dress up. That I don't like that. And I'm like, why? This girl is growing. She's a pretty teenager. Why should her brother be seeing her naked? Please, it's inappropriate. It might not be a sin to you, but it's inappropriate. Now, the next thing is sexual triggers. Sex triggers in your home, music. Oh my goodness. Music, alcohol, these things you're doing and you're telling your child, alcohol is not good for you, but you're drinking. And they are watching you, they are saying you. Somebody said, when I want to drink, I hide. Me and my husband hide in the room. I don't care. Just make sure that these children, you're not modeling these things to them. And by the way, they know these things. They know these things. So whatever it is you want them to do, just begin to do it so that they can, so that it's a lifestyle for them. That's why the perversion in the world is modeling perversion to our children, because that's what they're seeing. They're not seeing any other example. If you are not different from the people in the world, then what's the point? What's the use? What's the use? Where I went to make my hair, you know the way it is in salons. They will put all manner of vulgar, people are dancing naked, and I'm like, what is the problem? And then this woman that is making the hair, her 5-year-old is there. That is sexual perversion that has just begun. That is laying the foundation for sexual perversion. When you don't care. My daughter complained to me, she used to go to a child salon to make her hair. And then she said to me, Mommy, I thought that this auntie was born again. I drank water. I said, Lobaton, come and defend yourself. That's how she told me. She said, I thought that this auntie was born again. How come in her salon they play this sort of music? Don't say it doesn't matter. We take our children to parties. Our children will shake bum bum, roll the bum bum, roll the bum, and we're clapping. Is he the winner? Yes. Is she the winner? Yes. You are laying a foundation for sexual perversion. No. Please don't call the world. It's not the world, it's you. You were the one that laid it. So allow your child to enjoy his perverted world. Don't let anybody. My children's world is not perverted, sexually perverted. It is not. It is not, because I have carefully and intentionally and by the grace of godly told them and showed them beauty in purity. So when they see perversion in the world, they are uncomfortable. They know that I don't want to be here. There's a problem with this thing. Now, the next thing is the internet. I don't want to emphasize that because I know that other speakers have said it, but if you want to sex-proof your home, be careful of the internet in your house. It's not okay for your child to have unlimited access. It is not okay. I don't care if you have preached January to Revelation to your child. I don't care. Because sometimes when discussion happen on a parenting platform, somebody said, if you have taught the child Christian values, the child will know how to resist it. I don't understand. What are you saying, parents? What are we saying? Even as an adult, is it easy for you to resist the temptation on the internet, porn, all sorts of things? Is it easy for you? Why would you think that just because you preach? What are you even preaching to a child? How much of the Bible do we even know as adults? That we think that we now know so much of the word of God that we cannot expose ourselves. I don't know about you. For me, I don't. You see this thing they forward, all these broadcasts, bam. But when you forward to me, I ask you, what is in it? I don't expose this my eyes. I don't expose my eyes, my ears. I went to the gym, they were playing nonsense. I said, excuse me, I will leave. Why are we allowing these things? You don't say, but we cannot stop them. Then you leave that business. You don't need to go there. Because the place you're going to buy shawarma for your children, they're playing those kind of, the internet is the access. The place you're going to do their hair, to go to swim, internet is on. I even went to the hospital. And what are we seeing? Perverted music and videos and movies. I see young children exposed to Telemundo, Kiniko, all those things. That is your children's world, though. That please, the thing is, don't come and accuse the world. I'm speaking on behalf of the world today. Don't come and accuse the world of being perverted when you are the one that brought perversion to your child. Because you allowed it. It's a choice. Sexual purity is a choice. Perversion, sexual perversion is also a choice. Which choice are you making for your child? Which choice are you encouraging your child to make? Please, let's be careful. Right in our homes, perversion is going on. Cousin sleeping with cousin. You think your children don't know? I knew. I was a very smart child. I'm still smart. You don't need to talk. I just look, bam, I'll put two and two together. My children are like that, very smart. They know. They know when a call is happening with somebody, that is not the right person. They know. So please, let's check the internet. These are the holidays are here. Let's be careful. Don't just go to work and just tell them, read a book, do this, do your job, pew, you're off. Then the internet is there for free. They will do what you want, finish it in 30 minutes or 15 minutes, and have 7 hours of unlimited access to the internet. That is perversion already. That's access to perversion. The next thing is sex. The sex conversations. Is it going on in your home? If you sex educate your child, like coach calls it, sex educate your child like a pro, your child will be sex proofed. So your child will know that, oh, this information is wrong, this thing is wrong, this person is dressed wrongly, this person is, then your child will know. So a way of sex proving your home is to teach your child, is to sex educate your child like a pro, so that that child can recognize sexual perversion when they leave your home. Please, let's stop allowing things to chance. And you say, they are small children. Who told you? Your 7 years old already knows what it means to have a crush. He sees somebody, like somebody, his heart beats. That's when you're already getting late, because he's not going to know what to do. And if somebody comes to touch him in a way that excites him in your home, he will not say anything because he doesn't know that it is wrong. Finally, one way to sex-proof your home is to be careful of your own sexual activities. You're married, yes, officially permitted to have sex with your spouse, yes, but please be careful. Do it appropriately. Don't let children have complained of how they hear their children, hear their parents rather making out and all that. It's not ideal for your child's mind, because they just begin to imagine and imagine and imagine. I heard Isaac Onoja share something about, when the children go out to fetch water, that's when the parents have time to spend with themselves. Yes, that you can imagine. Local people know what to do. But we, in the comfort of our 5 duplex, our five bedrooms, we don't know that we should cover ourselves and behave well. Then let's dress well. Another thing to sex-proof in our home is our dressing. Mothers are wearing bomb shorts. Excuse me, are you in a hotel having weekend getaway with your husband? Don't tell me you're at home. It's also not okay, especially as your children are growing. When their baby's fine. But when they start growing, you have teenagers that say wearing bomb shorts after you're wearing it for your husband. Wear it inside your room, ma. Thank you. Wear it inside your room. The seduction you're doing for your husband is for him alone. It's not for your children. Teenagers have complained to us as mentors. I don't like the way, whenever I see my mom like this sexy, I feel somehow. They don't know how to explain, so they just tell you that they feel somehow. But I know what they mean. Stop making these children begin to imagine things and now say they are corrupt. They are not corrupt. You're the one corrupting them. Yes, now you're the one corrupting them. You expose your body, then you're now a full-blown boy with hot blood in his system to close his eye and not feel anyhow. Please dress decently. If you have, especially the opposite sex, dress decently. The other day, someone put on Facebook, a father was bathing with his daughter. What is the meaning of that? And how can you sex-proof your home? Is that not sexual perversion already? So let's be careful. Fathers, a child complained when my dad sits down, his boxers, I'm seeing his, part of his sexual organs showing through. The dress well, both the ladies and the men. I have to run. Now let's go to the second thing. The second one is building. Now I'm not going to be very nice at this point, because this is the part that concerns me. Spirituality without skill. Spirituality without skill, purity skill, will lead to self-destruction. David was spiritual, but he lacked purity skills. Solomon, his son, he was wealthy, but he lacked purity skills. Samson, anointed and strong, he also lacked purity skills. When you have laid the foundation of sexual purity, the next thing to do is to begin to build sexual purity in your children. Your children have gone through a sex-proofed home, okay? Everything we have talked about, in-laws, older people, you've guarded all those things. Okay, that's the foundation, it's the basic. Don't say, I've done all that, I'm okay. You're not yet okay. You need to move to begin to build purity as a skill. Purity does not come only from being spiritual. Thank you. After that, what next? The person just finished praying and fasting. He saw one girl with bomb. He just fell. He has not broken fast though. He was just rounding off the prayer when his sister came by his house and he broke the fast with fornication. Why? Lack of skill. I want you to see, for me, I don't see purity as a topic. Purity, when I start talking about purity, my voice rises. Purity is not a topic again. It's not, when anybody touches you, you be careful, don't follow bad friends, don't bring shame to his family, keep your body, it's good. That is, it's like you're speaking in French, or it's like you're speaking OP, you know what we call off points. It's like you're talking about A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That advice, purity as an advice is elementary. Purity as teaching, even, you are in introduction. You have not yet entered the full book. If you want to get into the topic of purity, you have to start teaching purity as a skill, what to do. What to do. I had a session with some of my teenagers, and I was teaching them. We were reviewing my book, Maintain Your White, a book of sexual purity. They're about to go to secondary school. And one of the teenagers, a boy, he said to me, I'm so happy as a teenager that you have mentioned in this book that one thing I can do to stay pure is to focus on my talents, my giftings, and to channel my energy productively. I said, Lobaton, this session is over. This boy already knows what it will take him to stay pure. That is a very serious skill he has acquired. Skills are what we acquire. Skills are not follow come. You did not come with purity. Just like you did not come with with all the other things you know how to do. Yes, some of it comes like a grace, but a lot of it has to be built. Purity as a skill means that you have to hone it. You have to fan it. You have to sharpen it. Joseph was a slave, but he had a purity skill. Solomon was a king, he did not have it. It's not, you see, when I said keep your money aside, don't tell me, I've given my child the breast, I've taught my child everything, and all that one is stories that touch. Does your child know what to do with a crush? Does your child know what to do when he's faced with temptation? Do they know all these things? That is when you say purity is a skill. Please, at the building stage of purity, this is when you are fortifying the foundation that you have laid for your child, so that anywhere your child goes to, you can fling your child to anywhere, and then your child will stay there and stay strong. The environment they find themselves in, do they know what to do? This is the place of using, okay, I've said that you're moving past just the value, telling you how purity is very good though. After that, does he know the benefits? Does your child know that purity is personal? I'm not doing it for my mom. That's how I talk about purity to my children. Purity is for yourself. You have to take personal responsibility for your purity. If you guard your eyes, you guard your ears, guard your heart, guard everything, anything that wants to interrupt your purity journey, cut it off. They do it by themselves. I'm not going to come and follow you and do it for you. I have taught you what it means to stay pure. I've taught you how to go and stay pure. Do your children know how to control, how to manage their emotions? Do they know how to flee from temptation? Do they know how to avoid sex traps? Do they know how to guard their ear, mind, and eye gate? This is purity as a skill. This is not, so when you're sitting there and saying, as you're about to go to school, let me just tell you something, my son, don't follow bad friends. When they are looking for girlfriends, don't follow. But the boy likes this girl. Has he been taught what to do when he likes her, and how he would not fall into temptation? That is what we should be talking about. That is when it now becomes a skill. You don't wish it. You don't, these things I'm saying, you don't wish it, you walk it. You don't wish purity, you walk purity. It's plenty of work. Because every time your mind is moving, what do I do? What am I doing? Am I fleeing? Am I running? Your purity plan is in your head. At every time, you know which one to bring out and use depending on the situation. Your children need to understand that it's constant work. There's no time, even as an adult. And that's why I always say that purity is no respecter of age, status, or gender. At my age, I'm in my 40s. I don't sit down and say, I've been living a life of purity, I'm okay. No, I'm constantly working out my purity with fear and trembling. Not just my salvation. My salvation and my purity, I'm working it out per day. Per day. I don't sit down and say, after I'm now married, after I now know I know what to do, I will just go and allow myself and do what? No. Purity is work. Now, like I said, you learn these skills. You hone these skills, you sharpen these skills, you practice it. Guess what? When your children practice purity, they become perfect. And for you to practice, you need a plan. For you to practice something, you need a plan. So when you plan, you follow your plan, you constantly follow your plan, you're practicing your plan, your purity plan, you will become perfect at it. Who says that it's not possible to be pure? It is very possible. You can even role play. You can teach your children. That's one thing we do when we're doing purity classes. We teach the children to think ahead. We teach them to role play different scenarios. How are you going to react? What are you going to do? How are you going to self-control yourself and all that? Those things, that's purity for you. Have you heard me talk about when you go to school, stay on your own, don't follow bad friends? That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is how do you handle these things that will come your way? When you're online doing your work, and sites come up, what will you do? They look very interesting, comedy skits, all these things, ads and the rest. You're just so tempted to press, click, 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 click. What are you going to do? Those are when you're teaching your child these things, you are honing the purity skill. When you are naming these things, don't avoid these things. Somebody already spoke on sex conversations. Don't avoid these things. Don't assume that they don't matter. List and name all of them, and then practice reactions. Practice that when it happens, you're like, oh, this is what we talked about. I know what to do. Did you hear that Joseph was thinking? Madam Potiphar came. He did not even think. He just knew what to do. Sometimes when our children don't know what to do, that's when they now fall. They're confused. And so for me, the two greatest purity skills are the refusal skills and self-control. Ability to control yourself. Those is a skill. It is a skill. It's not a gift. Self-control will not just come on you. You are self-controlled. It's a fruit of the spirit. It's not a gift. The gifts are you did not ask for it. Speaking in tongues, you get it. You did not ask for interpretation of tongues, you get it. You did not ask for prophecy, you get it. Self-control will not come on you like that. You will practice it. You will get it. The Holy Spirit will help you to develop it as a skill. No matter how spiritual your child is, if he does not have self-control, your child will be inside this perverse world and will be complaining. Refusal skills, how to say no and mean it. It is a skill. They practice it. So you need to focus on this. Then again, remember knowledge. Knowledge cannot be overemphasized, though. The Bible says, and one day, I was just doing some work and I just heard in my spirit, knowledge is a defense. I've never seen that scripture. Knowledge is a defense. Knowledge can cover you, can preserve you, can keep you. I Googled it and I saw that it was in Ecclesiastes. Knowledge is a defense. When your children know about these things that are happening in this perverse world. I mean, for example, do your children know about LGBTQ? If they don't know about it, what are they going to use to resist the questions that these people are going to come and ask? So if truly God said this, then why did this? They'll be asking them. Your children will start getting confused because they don't know anything about it. All these threats. If you try it, I'll disown you. If you try it, I will deal with you. If you try it, I'll not pay your fees. Forget about all those things are just emotional blackmail. They don't go anywhere. In fact, our children of these days, in their mind, some of them are like, stories that are told. You can't do nothing. So replace those threats. Replace the blackmail with proper knowledge, because the one you had before is now insufficient. If you don't know how to do it, please pay somebody to do it. It's very simple. You cannot be everything to your child, and there's some things you truly don't know how to do. You see, that's why some of us are at the academy, because there's some things that we have said that, okay, in this particular aspect, this is where we need help. But you see, in the world, especially in Nigeria, we know everything. A parent came to me, her son had issues with pornography. Okay, pay for this service. Oh, she starts to complain. I said, okay, go to Google, just Google it, sort it out, and your child will be fine. And she says, okay, and then goes and comes back. You don't know how to do this thing. Can you please get help? Can you just please humble yourself and just get help, so that your child can hone this skill, so that your child can sharpen this skill of purity? Don't assume that all what you have said is okay. Sometimes when I speak with the teenagers, they are half-baked. And I'm not trying to rubbish the work that parents have done. They have done their best, to the best of their ability. But when you expose your children to the right circle, to the right people, the right mentors, the right teachers, your children are able to get a more balanced, a more robust, curriculum when it comes to purity. What are the benefits and consequences, for example, that you're sharing with your children? You just say, so that your husband will respect you. That's not enough. They have seen some people who got pregnant before marriage, and their husband still respect them. It's not that. There are so many others. There are so many other things that so many other knowledge your children need when it comes to purity. The last Saturday of every month, which is this Saturday, I teach parents how to draw a purity plan for their children. How to drop, because without a plan, there's nothing to practice, there's nothing to work on, and without something to work on, your child cannot perfect the act of sexual purity. I'm going to share the details, with Coach Wendy, so that if you're interested, it's just for a token. We're going to be giving discounts to all the parents that are here. Now, finally, as I prepare to round off, the finishing part of this building we've been building. We talked about the foundation, which is sexually your home. We talked about fortifying the building, which is in honing the purity skills. Now we're talking about the finishing touches. And this is the part where I am very, very interested. A foolish man does not know how to go into the city. The Bible said it. If your child does not know how to go into this, if your child does not know how to go into the streets, into the world, into this perverse world, and stay away from trouble, then your child is going to be an easy prey. I'm not prophesying. Someone said that the team is going to come and give us prophecy now. This one is not prophecy. Your child will be a prey. They'll use your child for pepper soup. The Bible says in Proverbs, I think Proverbs chapter 7 or 8, that there's a young man that lacked, some versions say lacked understanding, some versions said simple, some versions said gullible, some versions said ignorance. This man is just I like the one gullible. He's just gullible. He doesn't know. He's just naive. He just entering. Boom! And as he was just wandering and going, the immoral woman said, "Come to me. My husband is not in the house," and he followed. Myself and my friends and sisters in our inner circle group, we used to say, "They told you to do it, and you did." As how? When we're talking to our children, that's how we sound. So a man told you to have sex with him, and you just agreed. You too, the boy, they came and lured you, seduced you, sat down, you agreed. We pushed it on them. Now, there's a story in Judges, 2 stories I want to share as I round off. Samson in Judges chapter 16, and Diana somewhere in Genesis. Similar story. The Bible says that Samson went down. Samson went down. Some of our children they are in down relationships. They have gone down to meet with people that they are not supposed to relate with. Some of us married down. That's a topic for another day. Coach Wendy is the one that brought that phrase. When I saw it in the Bible, I said, this is a woman of God. The Bible says that Samson went down. He was not supposed to marry Delilah. Check it. He was not supposed to. Some of the people that are children's friends are not supposed to be their friends. But because people are doing family friends, gang, is our people, is our circle. And your children are going down in those relationships. There's trouble. After you have laid foundation, you're 45. This is the one that will now scatter everything finally. Some people are living miserable lives because of the spouses they ended up with. Now, a relationship where you are going down is somebody that is lower than you morally, mentally, or spiritually. Somebody that is lower than you when it comes to the values of purity. You believe that you will stay pure. You will not sleep with your spouse until you get married. That person believes that once the wedding card is out, the wedding is already there now. You can just, there's nothing there. You can just move it. Then you will not go to all those kind of things. You are marrying down. No? When you people are not on the same level sexually, godly wise, spiritually, mentally, morally, you are going down. This person must lead more, the people that our children relate with must be people that understand the principles that we live by, the plan, the structures that we are working with, that our children are working with. These people must align. If not, that is a down relationship. Let me end with Diana. Oh, God of mercy. You know Diana? Diana was the only daughter of Jacob, sorry. She was the only daughter of Jacob. I've never seen a naive girl like that. I'm sure she was sexual. Her home was sex-proofed, of course, I'm sure. Sex-proofed. And she was protected by her brothers and everything. But when they went to Canaan, she went out and maybe down to meet the daughters of the land. And that's where she was raped. That you sex-proof your home does not mean you sex-proof, you sense-proof your child. Please don't make your child be sense-proofed. It does not have sense. Like the ones I see. Everything. I didn't know the man told you to enter his car, you just entered. I don't understand it. You just went, you came into a new environment, you did not study. You just went up, bam, you went to go and visit the daughters of the land. That's why she was raped. Her father was a covenanted man of God. They were spiritual people. The Bathsheba that David was calling, she too, she came. The king, did they say that the king would have killed her if she did not come? Sometimes our children, they're not even conscious of what is happening in the world around them. They're just so naive. You just click, you just do what? Let us teach our children to use their brain. Brain is not spirit. It's not only spirit. When you use spirit, please let our children use their brain. I've told my children, I've told my mentees, when it comes to purity, your brain must be active. If you read my book, Maintain Your White, after I walked the purity journey for several years, a time came when I had a very serious temptation. I was going to fall that day. The thing that worked for me that day was my brain, my head. My head was saying, hey, if you lie down here, this thing will happen, and then all this thing you have been keeping yourself on will end. I was hearing myself talk. I was not so confused. So when somebody tells me, I didn't know what happened, you don't bring those kind of excuses. Let your children know that these things are just excuses. One day, one of my teenagers was in a tight situation. He went to work. He replaced ACs and stuff like that. And then the girl he went to repair room. The lady just removed her towel. Bah! The guy said the first thing he heard was my voice. Run, don't talk. He said he just left till today. All his tools are still in that woman's house. That all he just heard was me saying, run, don't talk. You don't come and be confused. I just saw he was calling me. I said, what is happening with this boy? When I saw him, he said, Tetima, you don't know what happened to me that day. So you can't be confused. Auntie, she just came out. Then she now removed that towel. Then I didn't even know now what now happened. Excuse me. What happened to your brain? God gave you a brain so that he can rest. Let us train our children to understand these things. See, the 5 foolish virgins, what was their problem? Their problem was that they did not understand times and seasons. They did not understand that. They didn't even understand what was happening. They were virgins. So they were virgins. But they did not realize that, there's a time when we will need these things. So let us prepare for it. That's how some of our children are. They're just keeping their bodies. They're not having sex, but they're not. There's so many other things they're not putting into place. You're not having sex, but you have a phone and you click on every site. Everybody's your friend. You're a 5 foolish virgin. You're a foolish virgin. because you are not prepared. The problem with those 5 foolish virgins was that they were not ready. It's not that they were not virgins. They were not ready for the bridegroom appearance. So if your child is still a virgin, yes, but does not know, is not prepared with her brain and her plan, there's a problem. The issue of times and seasons is key. Your children must come to the understanding that I'm going to have sex, but I'm not having sex now. That one alone is deliverance. You don't have to pursue her. Let them come to that understanding that I'm keeping myself for something. I'm keeping myself for something. That one is sense. No matter the temptation, even if they bring 2 billion, the girl will not open her body because she understands that there's a time for this. Look, don't sense proof your child's brain. Let them think it. When I'm talking to my daughters, I say, you will have this sex, you'll be tired though. You'll be tired. So just calm down. You're going to have it. Now, let me just conclude by just reading out my punchlines that I wrote down. Purity is a skill, you learn it. Purity is not a gift, you acquire it. Purity is not a wish, you live it. Purity is by doing, not by wearing. Purity comes by hearing. Purity depends on action, not words. You don't say, I am pure, I am pure. We want to see you live a life of purity. With purity, it makes perfect. The more you practice, the more you perfect it. And the lifestyle, there's a lifestyle of purity. Not my mom is here, my dad is here, and those kind of things. On your own, you're doing it. Don't be deceived. Purity has a color. So it doesn't matter. My child can test. Think about that testing group of people. They can test before they marry. I don't know what your test is. Your child. What are they testing? What is this test all about? Let the children know that purity is personal. Let them own their own purity, only there as a guide. Yeah, they have to guide the child with you lecturing, begin to focus that your children can follow. I should stop here. I'm going to pay for children to learn. If you need to care, everybody needs to sex educate your child as people. I'm a preacher advocate. I was in that class. You learn, you keep your knowledge. 5 years ago, there was nothing like texting. Now, they don't feel like now. So, psychology, everything is changing. You just sit down there saying the Bible says, the Bible says. God did not tell you that if you are using the Bible, you should not go and get knowledge. The Bible says go to the ant. The ant can be a coach, the ant can be a book, the ant can be a conference, the ant can be anything, the ant can be this conference we have right now. The ant learn from somebody. Anyone can teach you, not only the Bible. The Bible doesn't say go to the Bible and learn alone. Go to the ant and learn from the ant. Thank you so much, everyone. If I see this class for parents, where was coming to that class to just build our children's purity plan. The time we are done with that class, you have a purity plan for your children that you can work with. And then, of course, our boot camp is coming up. Don't forget, we're going to be having purity sessions. We're having a night for the children where we can talk to them deeply about things that we do concern them. These are the things that are going to help you raise sexually pure children, even though the world is becoming sexually perverted. Thank you so much, Coach. I'm so sorry.
Atiatima, thank you so much, Ma. Thank you for being here. I know that I can see the comment section up blazing so hot for the questions. Thank you for delivering the purity message like we need to hear it yet again. Over the years, I've come to realize that, we now have, everybody is now doing, and in fact, you will say some things, they will say, I beg you, leave us. That's how the world is. Currently, BB Niger is streaming. And you know,
On.
someone said to me, I cannot really attend the conference. You know, it was clashing with me watching BB Niger. I blocked the person from sending me a chat because I don't have time and patience for somebody who do not understand the kind of war we are in this time. You know, no. I don't like what I hate. Thank you so much for sharing that. Please, if you have questions, put it right in the comment section, and we're going to play you another review from the inner circle. As Andetima takes your question, we would answer at least by this last session. So, hey, put your question there, and we'll answer you as we return back. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching me from and your time zone. My name is Charity Ibiabuchi. I want to sincerely thank Wendy for all she's doing, and I want to thank God for the opportunity to be in the inner circle of the Intentional Parents Academy. I thank God for all I've learned, and I appreciate God for how I've used it. Even my children can attest to the fact that, something has changed about their mother. My parenting style has changed. There's structure in my home. Even if I have 3 teenagers and then with the baby going to be 11 soon, but honestly, there is a shift. All this I got from the inner circle. Thank you, Wendy. And I use this platform to tell anyone watching me right now, you need that course. So take that course. Thank you.
And again, I say this to you. You know, when Etima was sharing on how to create a purity plan for, you see this thing about, I know what I'm doing, I can do it all alone and all of that. You know, whenever it comes to setting systems, purity, journey, Etima knows that I tell her that you have plenty power. Let us come and please find help and we'll do this journey. And shout out to Pastor Umeh. I can see that you're here. Pastor Umeh is right in my circle, my big brother. Thank you so much. And I want to say again and again that we need to understand, where we need help, seek help. In fact, your ability for growth, as in what shows that you have grown on any journey is that you are able to actually identify what needs to be helped, for you for time. And you need to get that. It's not about, oh, I can do it all by myself. Oh, I know it all. I've been parenting for 10 years. I've met people that have parented for 20 years. Flabberdash. Let me, I've met people that have parented for 1 year, yet they've done a good job. This morning, someone that is very highly placed in the Christian circle, a mommy Gio, said to me through her daughter that I didn't know God really has many children. She's been on this conference. Shout out to Mama. I see you. Thank you so much for joining me. She was one of those people that one of those people you admire as a young child. And to see her streaming and being on this session and getting value and saying thank God for the lives of people. And man, I was blown away today. It was my hit point, today with the reviews from this session. So if you want to be part of that purity session, for you to create a plan, in the academy, we believe in creating plans. There's nothing we do without creating a plan. 2 days ago, Tima was in my DM telling me, I am coming for a session for a holiday plan. See, we are not just sitting down and just say, hey, God forbid, it's not going to happen today. Hey, it's not my child. It's nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. I dragged my preteens recently, and I had to book Auntie Etima to come and do a session for them specifically. I am not just complaining about the world. People who are sponsoring, doing all the things, be Niger, all the perverse music and all of that, they are putting in resources. They are putting in money where their issues are. But we have refused to.
Exactly.
I had 4 preteens in my home at that time. I got, of course, I have a dozen number of maintain your white. That's even another story. So of course I went to my shelf. I brought one copy each person. Read. When you read in 2 days, Madam will be here. I have the privilege of access. Chineke Nami, why wouldn't I use it? And she was there to teach the children, take them through. It's something I couldn't have been able to do it the way she can do it. She's in grace to actually be able to do this. So find help where you need help. Find help. You see the argument, but the argument of wokeness and all of that, it will destroy your children. Because like Chidoze said earlier in the day, he said there are kings and there are slaves. So there is always a choice to make every time for every part of your journey. I can't see any question yet. But you want to be in that purity plan class so that you can create a purity plan journey. Don't look at me. I'm cutting soap for you. I'm bringing you the people that I'm walking my journey with. You want soap? This is soap. Oh. I am cutting all of this soap so that you can begin to walk your journey. And Antetima runs a life teen mentoring bootcamp. It's not online. It's not, I know that some people you can access online and all of that. I saw that there was an announcement of, putting online. But let me tell you the truth. If you want to actually create, a system, create an experience for your child, take them to that bootcamp. I've seen parents who are bringing their children, parents in the inner circle, bring their children from Uyo, from Lagos, from Jos, from all over, so that they will be present at the camp. One of the things on how to raise kings is actually cultural intelligence. How are they able to navigate another environment? It's not just their environment. Your bedroom is too small to raise a giant. Your bedroom is too small, too tiny. We're talking about global citizenship. The other day I shared and I said there are global citizenship skills. There's global citizenship skills. You are raising a Nigerian citizen. The world is raising someone who can survive anywhere. It takes a lot. It takes all of these to put together. And I like the way that I raised the analogy. I usually will say that for you to build a shanty is not the same as building a mansion. If you want to build a shanty, you don't need all of these classes. Forget it. You want to build a shanty, forget it. Everything I've said here, don't bother, trash it if you're interested in building a shanty. But if you want to build a mansion, then you need professionals, then you need tools, then you need strategies, then you need to work your journey intentionally. All right? Somebody's already asking, how do you create a purity plan? Please go to that class. There's no conference that can solve it in one day. Go to that class and the team will walk you through. Don't come to me. I don't create purity plans. Because go to Auntie Etima. Auntie Etima is on social media as Etima Ome. You will find that she's the only Etima Ome. There's no other person. Put on Amazon for her book, Maintain Your White. It's an amazing book for your teenagers to read. Your preteens, your teenagers have been privileged to have access. And let me also say this here. I don't think there would have been anybody who could have shared the journey of purity, the way that Etima has shared it. Etima and her husband had, set a standard when it comes to purity. I make bold to say it today on this live stream. Pastor Umeh is listening to me, and I tell you, there are people that are engraced on this journey. I remember always sharing that the sons of Issachar knew the times and the season. Go and read about the sons of Issachar. We read our Bible, we don't read it. It's what our pastor has said. That's what we just carry and go. Please go and read that Bible yourself. How do you introduce sexual purity journey? Okay, you have a question. How do you introduce sexual purity journey to a 7-year-old?
The first thing I'll say is the person should go and listen to sex. Are you still selling Sex Educate Your Child as a pro?
Like a pro, yes. It's in the academy. Sex Educate Your Child like a pro, yes.
So for a 7-year-old, sex education should have started so that when you start talking about purity, the child can understand. When you're talking to a 7-year-old about purity, you're talking to them about the value of keeping their bodies to honor and please God. You're saying things like God does not want you to touch yourself or allow anybody to touch you because He lives inside of you. Your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost. Okay, you should not spoil it. If you use the word defile, it will be too big for a surveyor. So you say, so you should not spoil it. You should not let anybody spoil it. That's how to start introducing it. And then you say things like, if you see something, if you watch something that is bad, that is not good, then you begin to list the things that means you are not allowing the Holy Spirit, you're not allowing God to stay inside your body. You have to be very patient when you're talking to a 7-year-old. But you have to, the main point about purity is that purity is unto the Lord. Purity is not what is trending or not trending. People act like we have a choice. We're in 2021. This is what we are doing. No, purity is a standard. And so that standard is what you emphasize when you're talking about purity. Purity is you keeping your body, keeping your sexuality pure, clean, free of any form of contamination. That is the meaning of purity. So when you start teaching your child gradually like that, to say, don't touch yourself, don't allow anybody to touch you, you be careful of what you see. Look, purity is just what you see, hear, and think of. That's it. It's not just only what you do. People feel it's only the act of sex. That's why we don't emphasize virginity. Because some people are virgins, but they are very immoral. They are not pure because of what they watch, what they listen to. So don't just emphasize the sexual part. Emphasize what they see. See, look at this cartoon. They are kissing, they are naked. This cartoon is not pure. This cartoon does not give God glory. It's not a purity compliance kind of cartoon. So you use those things to teach them. Let them know that purity is in everyday life. Okay, how people are dressing. That's purity. That's purity. So so very soon your child will be 8, 9, and will see somebody naked and will be uncomfortable because you have already begun to teach him how somebody that is walking a purity journey dresses. So you can start teaching with those kind of things. Your daughter wants to wear bomb short to party. You say, no, darling, this is not purity. This is not nice. This is not purity dressing. She will begin to understand that, okay, there's a way to dress, there's a way to talk, there's what to listen to, there's what to watch. That's just how to start. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Coach and Tima Umeh. And I also want to say that before you start any conversation on sex or sexuality, check your own sexual values. You need to determine what your sexual values are. See, we are here shouting purity. Some of us don't believe in purity in our hearts. You know, like I was sharing in Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro. I said, in fact, if you're looking for how to start, go and start from there. You know, and I was saying in that course that I have seen a mother who said, "Oh, I believe in sexual purity. I want my children to, be pure." Blah 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 blah. And there was a movie playing, and that mother, the child couldn't, have a child, and the child couldn't have sex with the husband, and there was back and forth. And she said, they didn't try before they started. Her teenagers were there. Your values will come on you. Forget what you're learning, all this, this committee. Go and start from the foundation. The foundation is you. The foundation is you. This journey, it starts with you. It starts with you. If you are always flipping your this thing through to see Big Brother Niger who kissed who slept with who, I want to be preaching purity. Forget it. You are not ready. You are not ready. Forget it. Just don't forget about, like me and my friends will say, don't even bother. Tima is here, she's laughing. Don't even bother. Just forget about, man. It doesn't follow at all. All right. So somebody said, okay, I'm angry now. Why am I just knowing about this? This is very funny. Do you know how many adverts that we've done on top of this conference? Oh, let's look for content that good. You need to catch up the replays. If you are just joining us, you want to catch the replays of other sessions. We have had back-to-back sessions. This is the 17th session, and we're having 3 more sessions tomorrow where I would be speaking. I have told the parents in the inner circle that I'm coming for an anointing service. When you're coming, bring anointing beside you. Bring fire, bring water, bring everything. When we are done, we'll shut down the TIPNR conference, and then you will go home And you've not been sleeping. I don't think you will sleep for 2 days. Let's go there. All righty. I can't see any more questions. Somebody says, at what age can LGBT be discussed? Please.
As I would say, as early as a preteen, it shouldn't be. Let's say 8. Coach, what do you think? 7, 8.
Okay, so
You
LGBT should be incorporated as soon as you start having conversations on sex education.
don't go into too much of details, but just you can
Yes,
start.
there is
If
age
you're
appropriate.
Yes, if you're telling your child that daddies marry mommies, that's you're preaching against. You understand? You're addressing. But LGBTQ
Yes,
is saying gender.
yes,
So if it's
yes,
daddy
yes.
mommy, daddy man and mommy woman, you've already started. So start as early as your children can understand. See, these children even know more than we think. Children that
Oh,
know all the
yes.
cartoons. Mention 30 top cartoons, even in their sleep, they will mention. As long as the child can understand ice cream and shawarma, I think you should start. Start. Don't yourself all the save too much details. Of course, let it be age appropriate, but as early as 5, 6, start talking about their sexuality, their gender, okay, and the fact that these people are going to try to confuse them, of course, as they're growing older, so that they know they are not confused. Because I think the thing with the LGBTQ is the confusion they are creating. When they make you to
Yes.
start calling, you're like, really? So if this was this, why did this not happen? And you know the thing, coach, Lot, Lot grew up in a place in a perverse world. That was something I really
Oh,
wanted to talk
yes. Oh,
about. How
yes.
survive? How did he
Mm,
survive? Is the
mm,
knowledge? Do you know that Lot was always at the gate? There's a
mm,
position. There's a position
mm,
you live a life of
mm,
purity. And I checked at the gate where Lot was. His daughters were not there. His daughters were in the city. That was why when they escaped to the mountains, the daughters were the ones that committed that abomination. Because they had already been submerged into the thing. So the position you take when you're doing this purity journey is very, very important. Begin to
very
introduce these
key.
things. First person to introduce them to your children. Don't let it
Mm,
not behave in your. Just start talking to them about, and then when you see things that promote these things, use it as an opportunity to begin to talk about it. Don't think that, oh, and besides, they're teaching it in schools.
mm.
My niece was just talking with her friends, and they were just talking about LGBTQ. They're just like 7, 8, 9. And my sister was like, seriously? I'm like, yeah, they're talking about it in school, they're talking about it in movies. So the information is already there. So you need to quickly come up and set it in place. This is
Mm.
very key.
Thank you so much, Coach Etima. Somebody is asking, how do you introduce purity to teenage boys? Mm.
Teenage boys, they're already getting late. Start by talking to them about okay, so first of all, get maintain your white. Maintain your white is a story, my journey. And then of course I had sessions for the boys there. The reason why I'm saying start there is because for you to introduce something, you need something. If he's already a
Need a
teenager, you can't.
platform.
No, yes, you need a point of contact, like they say in church. You need a point of contact. So it could be my book, it could be a movie, it could be any other book on sexual purity, something that you're going to use as a tool to be. This is not introducing again. You need to just launch him out. Begin to put him on a schedule. Take him through trainings. If he needs to go and have sessions, let him have. Because I've actually seen a 21-year-old, 18-year-old, different ages of boys call me on phone and tell me to teach them purity on the phone. Ma, one just called and said, Ma, please, this sexual purity, I want you to tell me how I'm going to do it. I'm like, oh my God, where will I start? There is a lot. So begin to teach for boys what they need most is self-control.
That's it.
For girls, it's refusal skills. For boys, self-control. The world has made it look like, oh, if a man sleeps with a lady, they blame the girl. She seduced him. If a man, if a girl goes, a man goes to take a second wife, they blame the girl. Everything is always the girl. The man never takes the fault. So already our boys are growing up with that mindset because of what is happening around. So you need to teach him that even he will bear the consequence of living a life of immorality. Start teaching your boys benefit and consequences. When he understands that you cannot be, see this, that immoral woman, she's going for the kings. You see, so, Apostle Selman said that there are some people that their gifts and talent is to bring down kings.
Yeah.
Is to just go for the men, or they go for the kings. So tell your son that he's a target. If he does not live a life of sexual purity, he will be brought down, even if he's the president of the biggest nation in the world. So just teach him. He just needs skills of how to control himself, what to do when he's tempted, how to flee from temptation, how to stand his ground, how to, set boundaries. Those are the things that he needs to learn. It's not going to be in one day, but he can learn it. Yes, he can.
Thank you so much, Auntie Etima Umeh. As we begin to round off, we're going to share to you the details of the boot camp, the details of the purity class, and how you can contact Auntie Etima Umeh right in our Telegram channel so that you can reach out to her, get the book, Maintain Your White. Maintain Your White. It's also one of books that we are reading in the inner circle. Right? We read it on the first year, and it launches parents into preparing a plan. So the parents in the inner circle are not fretting. You see, as you're just doing, hey, ooh, ha, oh, what is happening? No, we got them, and they know it. All right. By the time we do that session, Atetima is there to come and help us create a system. You're not in the inner circle. This is your time. Just go and get in now, and also hop into that webinar. But most importantly to me, Adetima is an awesome teen mentor. And that boot camp is a place that you want to take your child. Let your child be able to sleep outside your house, for one, in a structured environment, not just anywhere. All right. This is me putting my name on the table because my own children are also going to be on that boot camp. So this is me, saying to you, there are ways, there are things that we can do to help these children, and you can begin to actually do them. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this session. And if you want to get Auntie Etima's book, you are outside of Nigeria, just launch into Amazon, and Amazon, you will get her book, Maintain Your White. It's an awesome book for teenagers, trust me, and you would be glad that you did. All right. If you're not on our Telegram channel, join in. Look for the link in on YouTube, or look for the link on our Facebook community, or send a chat right to this and make inquiries to join the inner circle. All right. Thank you again and again for joining us. Tomorrow is the last day. Tomorrow is the last day for TIP annual conference. I can't even believe it. I've cried, I've jumped, I've been excited. I've gone through all kinds of emotions in 7 days. You don't even want to know what has happened to us, behind the scene. And I tell you for free, tomorrow is going to be awesome. That will be the last. We have saved the last, the best for the last. We're going to have Australia, one from Argentina, one from the US, and then my very self. I'm not coming to teach you parenting. I'm coming to come and pour anointing on you in that session. All right. We're going to be having Sidia Kibla, who is going to be talking about something on tantrum as well. And we're also going to have a former table tennis player from Argentina who is also a parent coach, who's also going to be teaching you how you can help your children focus and all of that. Thank you so much. I'm dead sure that you are going to be here. It's our parenting Shiloh. So on the last day of Shiloh, he's announcing service and mantle service. Come here, come with all your friends. Tell them that something is happening, and it's happening really big in here. And hey, don't forget to hit the like button if you got value from this session. Do not forget to follow Auntie Etima on her social media network. Just type Etima Umeh and you will see her. She's the only Etima Umeh. I like the way that I say it to people. You say you're looking for a Wendy Ologe. There are no two. You just type Wendy Ologe and I pop out. Right? So if you're looking for Etima Umeh, that's all you need to do. Put Etima Umeh with the H and her name pops out and you just follow. Nothing again. All right. Thank you so much. again and again. And Tetima, what will be your last words as we begin to round off with parents and begin to go?
Okay, my last words are very simple. Sexual purity is possible. I don't want you to see it as something that is overwhelming, something that you don't want to do. Occasionally, some people will have accidents. Okay, they'll have to go through bumps. It's all right. Just have the goal, the end goal, which is all the benefits, the peace, the prosperity, all the beauty that comes with sexual purity. With that in your mind, be ready to go through anything. It's not that hard. I'm telling you the truth, it's not that hard. The world just makes it look hard, impossible, and overwhelming. But it's with the help of God, and of course with the knowledge that we have, we're good. Our children are going to grow up sexually pure. I can assure you. Thank you so much once again for this opportunity. I don't take it for granted. I celebrate you, ma'am. I celebrate everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Auntie Etima Umeh, and shout out, like I said from the beginning, Auntie Etima is my friend. All right, you know the word friend. It's not the one you people use. Oh, it's not the one that is out there. No, 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 no. That's not what I'm talking about. Go and look for the real meaning. That's the one I'm talking about. And she's been on this journey with me from day one. I want to say thank you. Thank you again for always being at the hedge. Auntie Etima is preparing for the boot camp, and I know how active, how much work that goes to
Asking.
preparing for that boot camp. Yes, she's here. She didn't even ask. She didn't even
Yeah.
say she just came here to share. I don't want you to take this for granted. I want you to please rave over Coach Etima and go on her social media handle and talk about this session. Follow her. That's the much that we can do. Remember, this conference isn't free. It came to you as a cost. It's just that someone has bought the cost for you. So if that is the case, please do something. Take action. Do not let our efforts just go to nothing. Thank you again, Auntie Etima. See you guys tomorrow at exactly 3 p.m. At 3 p.m., we're going to be live here, streaming live all the way from Argentina. We're going to be having a coach who is going to be teaching us on how to create focus, children who are in game focus in school and all of that. So we are going to be having Hanan right on the session, and then we would have Celia Kibla. If you have been a member of the TIP Academy, or even a member of what we have on Facebook, you will know Celia. Celia is a friend of mine. She's a grandmother of so many years. She's one of my friends, right? In this space as well. You're going to be meeting Celia tomorrow. She will be streaming live from the United States, Maryland, provision size. And I will be taking the last session where we will be here. I'm not going to be teaching you parenting again. I don't think anything that have been said haven't been said, but I'm going to be setting your heart on fire to make you see all of these things that have been said and put it in a nutshell for you to be able to go home to think it through. But remember, if you are not doing anything, if you're not taking any action after you hear all of this, you heard what I said about the parents in the inner circle. I said that this session is not coming to them as a hit. Or we're going to read Maintain Your Why. They're going to pass it on to their children. We're going to, break it down for them and all of that. So we're not doing all these things you're hearing. We're just tipping you small from every corner. See you tomorrow at 3 p.m. as we begin to round up. My name is Wendy Ologe, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. Thank you again for being here with us. Thank you as we begin to round up, and have a good night's sleep till we meet again tomorrow.
Hello, my name is Auntie Etima Umeh. I'm the Responsible Teens Coach, Purity Lifestyle Ambassador, and an author. I was the first person to join the Inner Circle, aka the Yadas. It's been an amazing almost 2 years being in that group, in that circle. For me, what the Intentional Parents Inner Circle has done for me is it has helped me become a balanced parent. Two things: structure and nurture. It has helped me to better connect, love, and communicate with my children, as well as build a structure and a system where my parenting strategy is sustainable. In the inner circle, you get a great support. You have people that have gone ahead of you, people that are with you, and people that are coming behind you on this journey. So you're learning and you're teaching and you're sharing. Of course, you're becoming better at it every day. The inner circle has also, provided a platform for my husband to join in parenting in an amazing, non-stressful manner. Oh my goodness, I can't begin to share with you how we suddenly love to read books on parenting because we do it in a lovely, encouraging way. The inner circle has been that go-to place for everything I need, everything we all need to move from just speaking, wishing, hoping, and praying that our children turn out right, to actually begin to put these things to practice. And then we are already seeing the testimonies. Our children are actually turning out right, not without mistakes, but we can see them actually shift. I want to thank God for Coach Wendy, my friend and coach, and I want to celebrate every yada in all the levels. I celebrate you, and I'm looking forward to having you join us in 2022. See you in the yard.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching me from and your time zone. My name is Charity Ibiabuchi. I want to sincerely thank Wendy for all she's doing, and I want to thank God for the opportunity to be in the inner circle of the Intentional Parents Academy. I thank God for all I've learned, and I appreciate God for how I've used it. Even my children can attest to the fact that, something has changed about their mother. My parenting style has changed. There's structure in my home. Even if I have 3 teenagers and then with the baby going to be 11 soon, but honestly, there is a shift. All this I got from the inner circle. Thank you, Wendy. And I use this platform to tell anyone watching me right now, you need that course. So take that course. Thank you.